Hey up everyone, what's going on and welcome back to Tenerife. But first, breaking news from the wider world of football, as I've just discovered something that happened over the summer. England won the European Championship. On penalties of all things. The game's clearly broken. It was a dramatic finish for England as well. 90th minute equaliser. France missed a penalty in extra time. England fans got their money's worth out of that game, that's for certain. But you're not here for England, you're here for Tenerife. And, well, the fact that the game's clearly broken might go some way to explaining this. We're fifth. Casual reminder, 1,000 to 1. 1,000 to 1. So with that in mind, I reassessed the games we're playing just a little bit. We're now playing Vigo and Bilbao. Vigo 12th in the position. I thought they were a better team than that, to be fully honest. Bilbao predicted 6th. That was happening anyway. Granada, missing out on this one now. But since we've last met, we've beaten Pamplona, Getafe and Elche and lost to Eibar, somewhat undeservedly. Worth noting they scored with their first 2 shots. Just first 2 shots. I'm glad they got more in the second half because I would have been furious if that was the way it ended. You might notice I played Calderon in that one and, well, he scored on his debut in this match. A little bit of fumbling around the edge of the box and welcome Martin, welcome to the side. And I was followed up by beating Elche 3-0, 3 goals in 4 minutes. Everything is going on in this save right now and I don't understand 95% of it. I'm not even at the game time. What? We were the late one. We were the late one. One thing to note, we've played the same number of games as Barcelona. We're ahead of Barcelona. We've played 2 games less than Sevilla now, and we're 3 points behind Sevilla. Bilbao now 3rd. Coincidentally, by the way, Almeria, who we played last episode, I mentioned they beat Barcelona. Almeria, of course, a fellow promoted side. They've also just beaten Atletico Madrid. 2 of their 5 wins at the moment are Barcelona and Atletico. If we weren't 5th, I would be saying I want some of what they're having. So what that means for this Vigo match is Severa, Munoz, Sotalo's back from an injury, which I can't remember was part of last episode or not. Quiros, Moore, Sassi and Calderon is being rewarded for his good form. Barrow, Zukic is the only left-sided player we've got at full fitness at the moment. Williams on the right, who has been great. I did double check, by the way. I suspected some people might ask this question or at least be thinking in their heads. Nico Williams is Inaki Williams' brother and Araujo up front because Daniel Sturridge is out for 3 months. I said it last year quite a lot. He now has injury prone in his cons. Clearly I've got better coaches now because they weren't picking up on that before. This is why I felt like Vigo were better predicted because they've got so many players I actually recognise the names of. Namely Aaron Martin, who I've actually had on saves before. He's a really good left back. Or at least was on last year's game. So Vigo are 5th in the form table. We are 5th in the actual table. They're 16th in the actual table. Okay, we're 3rd in the form table. All right then. The following question was immediately that. Sorry. 5th in the form table is 2 wins and 3 draws. So we are playing in the black just to be confusing as Vigo's home kit is remarkably similar to ours. More on this right-hand side, driving into the box. Aaron Martin already on a booking, 11 minutes in. Sassi on the edge, and that is the Volante in action. Sorry, I just called the celebration as three of our fellow players worshipped Sassi there, and I kind of just want to pause it here, just for a moment. You can see the intention with the formation. You can see how it works. Once you've got possession, particularly with an overlapping fullback like Moore, you can see where the players are. You can see that there's overload essentially of players. The entire defensive line is occupied with attacking players. Romario Barra from the centre midfield is dealing with that one. And then you've got the 2 defensive players lurking on the edge. Now, of course, is where the ball falls to ultimately. It's not a deflection, it's just a straight up assist. And they end up in a bit of space to pop that in. So Sassi has 13 long shots, which, not amazing, as there's another highlight here. It goes wide from Sotalo. And Martin Calderon, whilst only has 8 finishing, has 14 long shots somehow. Not quite sure how that discrepancy resolves itself in game, but Munoz plays back to Severa here. And in terms of the build-up play, it's sort of standard positioning-wise. No one's really pushing up once you've got the ball, but as soon as you start driving forward, those Volantes join the attack. Still more, Williams. Sassi's lurking again. You can just see him there in the middle. Well, that's got through to Nico Williams somehow, and that would have been an incredible goal if that had gone in. I kind of almost hope for an example to show you what happens defensively here, but they've had 1 shot on an XG of 0.05 at the moment, but there we are. Mina's in here, I think, but Martin's just lurking there, almost operating as a 3rd central defender. Sassi's a little bit out of position, but I'm not sure if that was due to the throw. But you can see him driving back now, Sassi, and he's there. And as we're ready to break, all of our players, pretty much apart from Araujo there, in our own box. Araujo's at the post. As you can see, like defensively solid, but as soon as you get a good attack on, pretty much all of those midfielders are part of it. Williams. I just wanted to draw attention to the Volante as a whole because it seems to be working. Williams with a weirdly tame shot. Martin Calderon on this free kick. I didn't realise he was the best free kick taker. Williams runs around a bit and has another shot. Williams not averse to a little run, followed by a tame shot, usually. We kick off the second half with another highlight as it falls to their Araujo. Confusing. Aspas has put Mina in here and he has rounded Severa. What? How did Severa save that? Severa, whilst an improvement on Cervantes, who was pretty good last year in the second division, but Severa, whilst an improvement, I don't think he's still regarded as a first division keeper even, so might have had a bit of potential and might have grown into it now, but I'm not sure where he stands at this point in terms of that's gone in. Well done, Nico Williams. I was fully expecting another miss, to be honest, there from him. But he has scored in off of the post. As I was saying, Severa, I'm not sure if he's regarded as first division yet. I don't know if he's developed at all. But Zukic now. There's Williams. Just mugs that defender right off and squeezes that in with possibly the furthest he could have put that wide without it actually missing entirely. Moore is dispossessed, but the ball falls to Sotalo and Sassi's there ready to collect, ready to link up this play once more. Sassi, Zukic, he's got the overlap on the left-hand side. It's not going to be taken, I don't think, as that was very well worked. The movement there was sensational. And that's Romario Barrow, who I haven't really mentioned. I've only really talked about the Volantes in this formation, but just see him here, almost Lampard-esque in a way, just running into that box, finding the space, finding the pass. Despite scoring only on a 7, though. Don't know how that's happened. 73 minutes gone. The only person below a 7 is the goalkeeper. Romario Barrow is knackered, though. Suarez can come on for just over 15 minutes, maybe be part of this, maybe get a bit of familiarity with this squad. Calderon now tied too. Martin now tied, along with the left back, actually. So we might deal with that. Cognac on Munoz replaced with Pomares, who was complaining about game time, actually, just a few days ago. Unsurprisingly, because Munoz has been 100% this year. But more on this right-hand side, who has actually taken that right-hand side from Kakabadze, who was my preferred last year. But of course, Kakabadze was sent off early on in the year and more kind of solidified his place with some good performances. 4-0, and Nico Williams earning that loan fee. But Cognac brings this ball down and plays it to Felipe Suarez, who just finds a pass to Williams. Absolutely slices that defence apart with one pass. That assist was actually delightful. And Suarez on a 7 now as well. There's time for one more goal, as Zukic is going to put this one in. Quiros is there and heads it bafflingly backwards. Sorry, Quiros is the one to pick... I love the fact that Quiros went to try and hurry their team up there by putting the ball back on the pitch in the 94th minute. We didn't get to really see a lot of us defensively there because that was dominant. My assistant manager's made a very weird comparison. Nico Williams picked up player of the match. Yes, of course, he's got 2 goals. I wouldn't swap him for anyone, not even Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo. I always forget how to pronounce that. I understand that Cancelo can play all the way up the right-hand side, but really? Comparing a right winger to a right back, essentially? Also, I'd rather have Cancelo. Just saying. How's Nico Williams not even made the bench here? I understand Lamar got a hat-trick, but how's Williams not on the bench with 2 goals, but yet Sotalo and Araujo get in there? Game's gone a bit weird there. I'll be honest, I can't wait for some cup games because I really need to start rotating more, but can't really do it in the first division matches. Maybe against Granada I could rotate a bit, maybe, the way things are going. If you told me that 14 games into the season, Tenerife versus Athletic Bilbao will decide who goes 4th in the table, I'd have thought you were delusional. But that's the case here tonight on Thursday, the 2nd of December 2021. As Valencia play Levante as well, who are right behind us, Valencia. But I see absolutely zero reason to change the side in any way, shape or form, as we're at home for this one. Let's see how they handle the Volante. Of course, this is Williams versus Williams, as Inaki Williams lines up as their striker. There he is. In fact, exactly the same level on the team sheet. Nico versus Inaki. That must be really confusing. Apart from the initial I, that's basically the same name. But Yuri Bashish and the Kappa at right back, very good fullbacks. Sanset is a player I'm pretty certain I've had at some point as well. Across the Football Managers. Might be a few years ago now, actually, but still a quality player. Williams lines up on the right-hand side, actually, in exactly the same position Nico Williams is in for us. But of course, at home today, we're back in our white and blue after being shoved out of it last match. So just to be confusing, we are back in the white kit today. As the early stages of this game are largely uneventful, 0.05's worth of XG just gone up. We've had 2 shots, basically, in 25 minutes. Martin seems to be crocked enough to come off here, so he will be. Yeah, it was a foot injury. Also, Cognac's either footed, so he takes over the left-hand side. But there's a highlight to have before that little tweak has been made. More back to Williams. Williams pulls a really good save out of Unai Simon there. I see the name Simon. I say Simon automatically. Simon. Not the most thrilling of encounters, but a point here would not be horrific. It's worth bringing up my expectations for this season now, of course, because they have changed the way that things have been going of late. Much like the press conferences suggest, I kind of feel like we're no longer involved in a relegation battle, but at the same time, I think we are a little bit out of sync right now. I think we've had a nice little run of beatable teams. After a reasonably tough start, we've had a nice little run of beatable teams, and I need to make some changes here. So I think our position is a little bit inflated. I'm fully expecting us to be sort of mid at the end of this season. So don't get your hopes up too high. Townsend and Suarez on for Zukic and Barrow. Can I realise with the fact that Townsend being either footed, he can play on either side. They've scored. 15 minutes to go. They might have got a crucial... I've already made a change, assistant manager. It's happened. He's already on the pitch. Don't tell me to replace Williams with Townsend because Townsend's already on the pitch. And I've run out of subs, of course. Very little happening. Munoz has got a late throw, which is being headed out straight back to Munoz because he's the only person out there. Apparently, Munoz inwards to Araujo. Sassi will find more on this right-hand side, and the overload's there once more. Moore will go for this himself. Another great save by Simon. I'm surprised there wasn't more XG on that shot, to be honest. It's hard to say you're the better side when your XG is still below 1. Is it half of ours? Can we feel hard done by there? Yeah, I feel like we can feel hard done by the fact that they've scored. I don't think we can feel hard done by the fact that we haven't. I think a 0-0 would have been fine. I think a 1-0 is a little bit harsh. Well, that's going to happen, as Adrian Gaitan says over here. The important thing is we're creating chances. We'll start taking them soon. We've been taking them. That is very much an anomaly, and Calderon is out for a little while. So it's going to be a little while until we come back again. I think Espanyol, Barcelona, or Barcelona, Sevilla. Two of those three, basically. Barcelona and one of the sides, either side of them. Kind of depends on how cup competitions factor in that time frame as well, because that's when I think they come in particular similar to the FA Cup, pretty much. So I'll see you next time for a match that will definitely involve Barcelona and one other side. And of course, January, not expecting any transfers in unless there's any transfers out first. So don't expect too much on that front, but Barcelona next time around. Until then, ta-ra.